Good morning. I'm back again at the Noodle House restaurant in beautiful downtown, or not downtown, on kind of the outskirts of Newburgh, Indiana. It's both a restaurant and we have 4 bays of a golf simulation here. We use a Trackman. This particular Trackman is the overhead type with the shot impact camera. Like that a lot. This morning I'm going to go through my 5-iron and my 5 hybrid. And what you're going to see in the video is I'm mostly going to talk about power and controlling power, because with playing 6 clubs, in order to fill the gaps, you've got to be able to control your power. So in earlier videos I talked about how I feel that a certain swing length is a certain body position. So you might hear me say me shot, and I kind of think it's like this, but in reality you're probably going to see the club go back further. But I think me. Then my hip is kind of up here, but in reality it'll probably be up here. But I'm thinking my hip. And then I have my mid, which is up above it. Then my shoulder. And then finally my head. And then I get into more full power things where I kind of concentrate on this shoulder. How close is this shoulder to my chin? A relaxed one is shoulder doesn't really touch it. Where I start to add a lot more power is where that shoulder almost comes in and touches my chin. And then I know my full power position is when that shoulder is pushing against my chin a little bit and I'm fully wound up. Alright, so let's start with a 5-iron. And I'm going to start with, like I said, the smaller ones, the me, and then work my way up until I finally get the full power. So the Sporting's number, because these are lower lofted clubs, I have the carry number like I did with the 8-iron. I have the height number, but I changed out the curve and I included the total distance the shot's going to go. I chose to add total distance because these shots with the 5-iron and the hybrid, especially the lower powered ones, they tend to roll a lot. And that's a very important part of the shot. So let's go hit a few. So first my me shot with 5-iron. See this one where it carried 65 yards, it rolled to 95 yards. That's a big percentage of the carry. Actually, it's 50% of the carry. All right, so let's pump the power up a little bit more and go with the me hip shot. A 93-yard carry with a 121 total. Again, 30 yards of roll on the ground. All right, then let's go with the me mid. This is a nice, comfortable shot. I love playing golf with this power level. 114 carry, 41 high, 132. And now I'm going to up the power to my shoulder. 134 carry, 150 total. That's kind of a nice, comfortable power spot also, my shoulder. Let me hit another one. 130 carry, 146. So that 130, that's about the best I could do full power-wise with my 8-iron. So if I don't want to do that, I just take that easy 5-iron shot. Now let's go where these shots start to come into chin against shoulder. 138, 155.
Don't forget, Sunday is Mother's Day. Better hurry and get to Stephen Lynch.
And finally, let's see what I can do full power. That was a better hit. All right, that's about the best I can do with a 5-iron. Is 151 carry. That's typically what I see at the driving range. We've got a flag out there at 150, and that's about what my 5-iron carries to these days. as a 65-year-old senior golfer. The height on the shot was 68 feet. And then finally the total was 164. So the more power that goes into the shot, the less rollout that you'll get with it. All right, now let me switch over to my 5 hybrid club. This is a Adams Golf Idea A12 OS 5 hybrid. It's about the same loft as a 5-iron. However, the thing about it is the shaft length is like a 2-iron shaft length. So when you pull those hybrids, you know, you hit them for the first time and they perform so well, you go, wow, look at all that distance. Realize a lot of that distance is coming from the fact that you've got a longer shaft. All right, so let's give this the meanie treatment. This is a really low shot, but I easily got 81 yards. And the rollout there is again 30 yards. Well, let me do a little me hip shot. Now with almost no effort, I got 130 yards, same as my 8-iron, with a little bitty swing. It's only 40 feet high, and it rolled out to 155, 25, 26 yards of rollout. So that was just a me hip shot that came in and made really good contact. I mean, that shot's perfect. So there's a perfect shot. All right, so let me go a little bit more power. All right, now we've got it up to that 150-yard shot. All right, that's a me mid shot, and it's giving me the same exact performance as the 5-iron shot. So I have to work a lot less hard with this 5 hybrid than I do with that 5-iron. Everything's got to kind of be perfect with the 5-iron to give me this 150-yard shot. Whereas I can be a little off with this hybrid and still get that kind of yardage. All right, so let's go a little bit more on my shoulder shot. That was kind of a toe hit. 131. Nothing there to write home about. See if we can't get a better strike. Yeah, that was a good one. A little bit towards the heel, but 161 yards carry, 172-yard rollout. Okay. On a par 5 layup shot, senior distance, I take that every time. And all I had to do was my shoulder shot. All right, now let me do the power where I start to bring the shoulder to the chin. This one's got 170 carry, 185 rollout. All right, that brings in all the long par 3s. Certainly that's going to be in front of even the longest par 3, 240 par 3. I'm only going to have a little 60-yard shot to the pin. Guaranteed to get a 4 on that hole. Might even get a 3. Let me go one more with what I think is my full power. See if I can't beat that 170. All right, just a little bit towards the toe, 168. All right, let me change the view here to something where you can see the flight of the shot, and I'll just go through hook, draw, slice, and fade. All right, I went through the setup on these shots yesterday with the 8-iron, so I won't bother a lot with that. But basically what I do is I close the face, and if it's going to be a hook, I aim to the right of the target. If it's going to be a slice, I open the face, and I aim to the left of the target. In each case, when the club goes down, the club face is facing the target. My body, different, but where the club face points. And then what I want you to watch on the tracer here is the path that the club comes. When I hit a hook shot, the path comes in from this way. When I hit a slice shot, the path comes in from that way. So I'm controlling path and club face position when I do this. All right, so let's see what we get with that little 5-iron in a draw configuration. Big old toe hit. Okay, same thing, draw configuration. Play the ball back just a little bit. Inside out swing. You can see that. This is the draw trajectory. Then let's do that from the forest shot, like I demonstrated with the 8-iron. Going to really close the face, really aim to the right. So this is going to be an extreme in to out swing. The club face is facing the target. And that one's got quite a lot of left to right on it. Let me do one more. Extremely closed, moving it back, aiming way right of the target, into out swing. Okay, nothing crazy with the distance. 93 for a 128 rollout, but I've got my draw happening there. Now yesterday, when I talked about slicing the 8-iron, I said it was kind of difficult to slice a high lofted club. All right, so today I've got the 5-iron. So let me do a slice with that and see what I can get out of that. All right, again, I'm going to open the club face. I'm going to aim to the left of the target. The face of the club is going to be at the target. And then this swing is going to be from outside to inside. Okay, so you can see we've got the outside to inside, a little bit on the toe, 132 carry, but the rollout here is only 9 yards. So with a sliced chop, the ball's going to fly high, it's going to curve, but it's not going to roll out. Now let me do the same thing with the 5 hybrid. First, I'm in trouble draw, so I've got the face closed a lot. I'm aiming to the right of the target. Got the ball a little bit in the back of my stance. Inside out swing. All right, we can see the inside to out. 116 carry, 150 total. So if you're in the junk on the left and you need to get out, 5 hybrid with a little shoulder high swing is a beautiful thing. All right, so let's take this club and see what we can do on a slice shot. So open the face, aim way to the left, point the club at the target, outside to in swing. Well, I got the outside to in, but it looks like my club face was closed as I came through, and I just got a straight pull. Let me try that again. All right, that one got some sauce on it. All right, the difference between that was the club face position. We can see the outside to in, outside to in swing plane. And then the shot, 150 carry, 159, so it only had 10 yards of rollout. And then again, we can see the curve there. So this morning, what I've kind of learned from this, and I'm going to go back through it again to look and say, okay, well, now I kind of really have a good idea of what I'm getting from my 5 hybrid and what I'm getting from my 5-iron, especially in those lower power areas. I hit that shot a lot at the driving range, but I don't get a lot of good information about a rollout, and I don't get exact numbers on carry. But here this morning, using this Trackman, I get all of that. So if you're looking to sharpen up your game, especially if you're looking to control your power a lot better, I highly recommend using one of these Trackmen.